And we are live. Welcome back, my people, to EMGM SPORTS. It's me, your boy Enzo, the realest in the game. What's everyone saying? Man? How's everyone doing? Apologies, man. Late start. I'm about half an hour late for the live today, man. Just came back from coaching, boxing, just got back. Had to sort some things out as well. Some technicalities as well, so apologies, my people. But yeah, man, there's a lot to talk about tonight, man. I'm probably going to spend like an hour just recapping the weekend boxing. Eubank Jr. versus Conor Ben. That was a weird performance from Eubank Jr., isn't it? Very weird. Is it time for Eubank Jr. to retire? He might be, man. He might be, my people. Well, let me know in the comments anyway if it's time for Eubank Jr. to retire. I'm just checking. But while I was in the last hour or two here in the UK, news broke that Alexander Usyk relinquished his WBO title. That is crazy, man. So Fabio Wardley has been elevated to champion status. So Fabio Wardley is now the champion. He's now the WBO heavyweight champion. That's crazy, man. I feel bad for Joseph Parker. I feel so bad for Joseph Parker, man. After being mandatory for how long? How many years? 2-3 years or whatever, however long he was. Usyk never relinquished the title. All of a sudden, Joseph Parker loses against Fabio Wardley. Then he fails a drug test for the white powder. And now Usyk has relinquished the belt. He's dropped the belt. He doesn't want to fight Fabio Wardley. He's dropped the belt. So Fabio Wardley is a champion. My God, how is Joseph Parker feeling right now, man? I feel so bad. I feel so bad for Joseph Parker, man. That's some crazy news, man, coming out of boxing, man. I feel really bad. I'm just trying to find the story. I think the Ring magazine posted it. Yeah, I think the Ring magazine posted the story, broke the news. Like I'll say about 2 hours ago. Let me just hold on. I want to switch my screen here. Yeah, there it is. So Alexander Usyk relinquishes title. Fabio Wardley now full world champion. Damn. That is crazy, man. That's an absolute that's a madness. I feel sorry for I really feel sorry for Joseph Parker, man. That is crazy. So that's the statement. That's the story there from the Ring magazine. Just 23 days after his thrilling comeback stoppage win over Joseph Parker. It's been 23 days already. Damn. What? Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley. It's been 23 days. That's crazy. I didn't know. Man, time goes quick, man. Fabio Wardley is the new WBO World Heavyweight Champion. After he emerged today that the sanctioning body received a notification that undisputed belt holder Alexander Usyk was relinquishing his title. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. That is crazy, yeah. A month shy of his 31st birthday and during the start of a fight week where two other Brits seek to claim world honours abroad on a stacked ring showing Riyadh Wardley has been reposting messages since the WBO social media post swiftly gained traction. In said announcement, the WBO called this news respectful pause, not a farewell, something expressed to them by the unbeaten Ukrainian team themselves. They instead took the time to honor Usyk's achievements, with President Gustavo Olivieri praising his longevity at the top of the sport, which waits for no one. Man, what do you guys think? What do you guys and girls think of this news, man? Alexander Usyk has relinquished his WBO title, and Fabio Wardley is now the WBO champion, man. He's been elevated. He's the automatic champion, man. How you guys and girls think about that? Let me know, man. Let me know how you feel. Drop it down in the comments. That's crazy. That's crazy. Listen, I'm happy. I'm really happy for Fabio Wardley. For someone who's come from white-collar boxing, he's done well. Do you know what I mean? He's done really well for himself. And listen, man, what an achievement to become world champion. I think this would have been his wildest imagination, wildest dreams, whatever. I don't think he ever thought he would become world champion, man. He had no amateur background whatsoever. Like, it's crazy, man. You just have to rate Fabio Wardley and respect him for what he's achieved. I know a lot of boxing fans will take it wrong. Like, a lot of boxing fans don't like people being elevated to champion status in this manner, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't beaten anyone to become champion, but WBO rules or whatever states that, you know, if the title holder relinquishes the title, then obviously the number one guy automatically takes it. So it's not Fabio Wardley's fault, man. He becomes champion by default. It's not Fabio Wardley's fault, man. He's now the champion. He's happy. He's celebrating. But the person I really feel sorry for is Joseph Parker, because he was champion for so long. Not champion, sorry. He was a mandatory for like 2 years, 2.5 years, whatever. You know, he never got that crack at Alexander Usyk. All of a sudden, he lost to Fabio Wardley in very controversial circumstances, like the stoppage, early stoppage by the referee. And now, most recently, the news broke that he returned the adverse result for his drug test. So he failed it, the old white powder. And now this must be just, can you imagine Joseph Parker right now, what's going through his head? He's thinking, God damn, what have I done to these people, man? You know, it's absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But congratulations to Fabio Wardley, man. He's done well, you know. Like, listen, like I said, man, it's not Fabio Wardley's fault, innit? It's not his fault. It's the rules, the WBO rules, man. You know, Fabio Wardley. Obviously, if you if put yourself in a position of Fabio Wardley, would you turn down becoming a champion if he was offered to you? You wouldn't, innit? Because now that you hold the belt, you know, you can demand more money. You know, the next fight for Fabio Wardley, his purse will be big because he's going to be fighting as the champion. But obviously, in the eye of the boxing world, in the eye of the boxing fans, he's not a real champion, innit? Because he didn't beat the champion. He didn't beat Alexander Usyk to become champion, innit? Do you know what I mean? He's become champion by default. A little bit like what's his name? Like Daniel Dubois, when he got elevated to IBF champion. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people didn't respect that. Obviously, then he fought against Anthony Joshua and he absolutely battered Joshua, knocked out Joshua brutally. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, people respected him. Then they're like, yeah, you are the champion. So Fabio Wardley, really, he's got it all to do in it, to win the fans over, just because of the manner in which he's become the champion. So he's got a lot to do to win the hearts and minds of the fans. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of boxing fans are happy for him, but there'll still be some sectors that will think, nah, he doesn't deserve it. You know, he doesn't deserve it. And also, I speak to a lot of Joseph Parker fans, and they tell me, yo, Joseph Parker, what happened to Joseph Parker in terms of the drug results? Do you know what I mean? The test results coming back positive, whatever, you know, for the white powder and stuff like that. Him failing the drug test. A lot of people are saying that is a conspiracy, you know. A lot of the Parker fans are saying that it's a conspiracy. They're saying that Joseph Parker has been set up. You know, a lot of the Joseph Parker fans already saying that, yo, our guy was set up. Something was put in his water, whatever. Parker himself has come out as well. He's denied it. He said that, listen, he's innocent. He's never taken any drugs, any substance. You know, he's never ever taken any performance enhancement drugs. You know, he's never taken recreational drugs. He doesn't believe in that. So he's come out denying it. He's come out swinging as well. So he's gonna fight to prove his innocence. Obviously, look, they're gonna do the what do you call it? They're gonna do the proper investigations. They're gonna follow the whole process. So we should get an idea of what's happening in a couple of weeks, innit? Because obviously they have to do the B sample test as well. But 99% of the time, the B sample is the same as the A sample, man. It doesn't change. The B sample, 99% of the time, is the same as the A sample. So, yeah, man. Team Parker, they've got a lot to, like, a lot of explaining to do, you know, because it's on Team Parker to prove otherwise, innit? It's on Team Parker to show people, to show the British Boxing Board of Control, VADA, to prove to them that, you know, how this substance got in his system. He has to prove it. They have to prove it. They have to come up with a way of, they have to come up with an explanation of how the substance ended up in his system. Because if they don't, then Joseph Parker is looking at likely a 2-year ban. You know, that is the rules with the British Boxing Board of Control. He carries a 2-year ban if you take the white powder. I know it's a bit harsh as well. It seems harsh, but that is the rules now. Let's say, for example, you know, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, whatever. Let's just say that Joseph Parker is guilty of, you know, the white powder, whatever, you know, whatever substance he had in his body. Let's say he is guilty of that. Let's say he did take it. Will he get a full 2 years? I don't think you'll get a full 2 years, man. You might get like a little 12-month ban, 8 or 9 months. Do you know what I mean? Just because of his good behavior. They also look at your reputation. Do you know what I mean? They also look at your past conduct, you know? You've got other fighters. I'm not going to mention their name, but I'm sure you know them. There's other fighters out there that have taken way worse things than Joseph Parker. Like, you know who they are. They've taken way worse things, yeah? And they're still around. They've been given second chances, third chances, fourth chances. Do you know what I mean? Some of them got 5 chances. They still keep coming back. And they've taken performance enhancement drugs. Do you know what I mean? They've actually taken drugs that will actually boost their performance, cardio, physicalities, and fitness, and has given them an advantage in a fight. They're still being allowed to come back and carry on earning their living. So I think for Joseph Parker, they'll look at his past conduct. You know, he's been a very exemplary person. He's been a role model to a lot of boxing fans, kids, whatever, around the world. You know, he's a family man. He's got a very good image before these adverse test results. So I think they might look at him and they might just be a little bit lenient towards him, you know. I think they're going to be very lenient towards Joseph Parker. And he might just get maybe like a 9-month suspension or something. you know. And I'm saying this, I'm not saying I ain't got no evidence or anything like that. I don't have no inside scoop or anything like that. I'm just saying that I'm playing devil's advocate. If it was to happen, you know, if he was to be found guilty, if Joseph Parker and his team can't prove how this substance go into his body without him knowing about it, then he'll likely get the 2 years, but he'll probably just serve like a 9-month ban with like some type of course. You have to like go do some programs, course, maybe go into prisons and talk to people, and they'll maybe go talk to kids or something like go to schools or whatever. He'll do a program, do you know what I mean? And then he'll be able to come back. But it's sad, and it still be a lot of time wasted for him. He wanted to, I remember his interview with Ariel Hawani after the defeat against Fabio Wardley. He wanted to get back in there straight away, man. He wanted to like fight in February 2026. He wanted to get back straight in there. Like he wanted to, do you know what I mean, make that comeback so he can get a title shot. Because that's what Joseph Parker wanted. Joseph Parker just wanted a title shot, man. Do you know what I mean? He's wanted that title shot badly. That's what he's been wanting. So this whole test result drama it just sets everything back for him. It's sad, man. But let me know what you think anyway, man. Let me know in the comments. Fabio Wardley has now been elevated to full championship status. You know, Fabio Wardley is the new WBO belt holder. He's the champion now because Alexander Usyk has relinquished his title. So Alexander Usyk has stepped back. He doesn't want to fight Fabio Wardley. For whatever reason, he stepped back. So Fabio Wardley has been elevated to WBO champion. I wonder who's going to fight next. Let me know in the comments. Who do you think Fabio Wardley will defend the title against? Like, who will be his first title defense against? Could it be Moses Ituma? Will it beat Moses Ituma? I don't think so, innit? They've got the same coach, innit? In Ben Davison. So I don't see Fabio Wardley fighting Moses Ituma, man. Because how the dynamics and the logistics, how is that gonna, like, who leaves the gym? Who's gonna leave the gym? Moses Ituma or Fabio Wardley? I think if push came to shove, Fabio Wardley will have to leave, innit? Because Moses Ituma is only 20 years old. He's the younger guy. He's tipped to be the bigger superstar out of the both of them. Fabio Wardley just turned 31, I believe. So I think if a decision was to be made, if Ben Davison was pushed into a decision, then I think he'll pick Moses Ituma to stay in camp. You know? But yeah, man, that very interesting days. I want to see the developments of all this, like who Fabio Wardley is going to defend the title against. Could it be Tyson Fury, mate? Tyson Fury might even want to get in there, you know? Tyson Fury might want to get some of that action with Fabio Wardley. Tyson Fury might see this as a way of him getting a rematch against Alexander Usyk, you know? Because Tyson Fury might be thinking, whoa, you know what? If I get in there with Fabio Wardley, and Tyson Fury will be backing himself. Fabio Wardley will be backing himself. Not Fabio Wardley, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, he'll back himself to beat Fabio Wardley, you know? So Fury might be thinking, you know what? Let me get in there. Fury might actually call up, you know, Uncle Frank. He might call up Turki Al-Sheikh. And you know these guys, you know they love him, right? You know what I mean? Turki Al-Sheikh, Uncle Frank, they love Tyson Fury. So if he rings them up and says, yo, listen, let me take on Fabio. Me versus Fabio Wardley at Wembley. Let's do this. They might just grant him his wish. And you know what? Fabio Wardley's powerful. He's really powerful, you know. He's got a big punch on him, but if he was to fight Tyson Fury, I think Tyson Fury beats him, you know. I think Tyson Fury schools him, outboxes him. I don't think Tyson Fury will make the mistakes that Justice Hooney or Joseph Parker made, you know, where they got into a war with him. Tyson Fury just keep that long jab, man. Do you know what I mean? Keep him on the outside, man. Just box his head off, get a unanimous decision victory, and then that would justify Tyson Fury fighting against Alexander Usyk in the summer 2026. Listen, I think I'm onto something here. Let me know in the comments, my people. Let me know in the comments, man. Do you think I'm onto something here? Fabio Wardley versus Tyson Fury will slag it out for the WBO title. Tyson Fury wins that, and then we get the trilogy between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk in the summer. I think that might happen. I think that might happen. Because right now, if Fury was to announce a fight with Alexander Usyk without no title or anything like that, a lot of us are already against that. No one's trying to see that. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to see Tyson Fury fight against Alexander Usyk. No one wants to see that trilogy. I know both guys will make a lot of money, but we don't want to see that fight. But the attitude of the boxing fans might change if Fury has a belt. If Fury has a belt and Alexander Usyk says, listen, I want to become 3 times undisputed. He's already 2 times undisputed. If Alexander Usyk decides, you know, I want to become 3 times undisputed, I'm going to fight Fury, I think, listen, the fans will buy it, man, because it's justifiable. Like, Fury's got one of the belts. Alexander Usyk wants to become 3 times undisputed. It makes sense, man. It makes sense. Let me know in the comments, my people. If you're in the building, let me know. Smash the likes. Drop your comments. Let me know, man. I just started with a story. Fabio Wardley has been elevated to champion status. So Fabio Wardley is now the champion of the WBO because Alexander Usyk has relinquished his title. He doesn't want to fight Fabio Wardley. So I guess Alexander Usyk doesn't think that Fabio Wardley is a worthy opponent, or it's just not motivated to fight him. There's just that fight with Fabio Wardley for Usyk just doesn't generate enough interest or money. So he's like, you know, I can't be bothered. I don't think Usyk is scared. Usyk ain't gonna duck no one. He's for everybody, man. He's for the big punches. He's been fighting all these big guys, man. So Usyk ain't scared, man. I just think at this moment of time, Usyk is one of those guys. He's at a point in his career where, because he's done everything, he's conquered boxing, he's only taking fights that please him. Do you know what I mean? That will motivate him. That will get him out of bed. Do you know what I mean? And if the money, if he's not north of 70 million, I don't think he's doing it. Like, the purse has to be north of 70 million. That's the only way he's coming to fight. And Fabio Wardley doesn't generate that much interest, so he wouldn't get a purse of north of 70 million. As he said, Adari Penner, what's up, bro? What up, bro? How you doing, man? You good? What are you saying? What about Fabio Wardley versus Joseph Parker rematch next? Yo, Adari, the rematch can happen, man. You know, Joseph Parker failed the drug test, didn't it? So the rematch can happen, bro. You know what I mean? The rematch can happen because Joseph Parker failed a drug test. You know what? This would have been perfect. If Joseph Parker didn't fail a drug test, it would have been perfect. It would have been perfect. The rematch would have made sense, innit? Because it was such an entertaining fight. Oh. Although my camera's all messed up, man. Hold on, let me just fix my camera up, man. My camera's all messed up now. Hold on. Just fixing my camera. I hope it's back to normal now. One sec. Give me a sec. Oops, yeah. Camera back to normal. What was I saying, bro? Who asked me the question? Adari? Yeah, Adari. Joseph Parker, yeah, I was saying, I lost my train of thought. Joseph Parker and Fabio Wardley, the rematch would have made sense, bro. Like, the rematch would have made sense because it was such an entertaining fight, and the way it ended, like the referee jumping in, and we know what happened next. Early stoppage for me was a premature stoppage. The referee jumped in there too early. The rematch. People would have bought the rematch if it wasn't for the adverse drug test return from Joseph Parker, If Joseph Parker didn't fail the drug test, then maybe we could be looking at a rematch. But unfortunately, the timing for Joseph Parker, the timing couldn't be any worse. It's the worst timing for Joseph Parker. Absolute worst timing for Joseph Parker, because he was the mandatory for like 2 years. He was the mandatory for 2 years, man. Now I'm thinking to myself, would Alexander Usyk, would he have fought Hold on, my camera keeps messing up, man. Would Alexander Usyk, would he have fought Joseph Parker if Joseph Parker defeated Fabio Wardley? Would Alexander Usyk, would he have preferred to fight Joseph Parker instead of Fabio Wardley? Or would he have relinquished the title anyway? That's a very interesting question. Very, very interesting question. Let me just look. I'm trying to find that Joseph Parker statement that he released. Joseph Parker statement. So Parker's facing a 2-year ban. He's facing a 2-year ban. He found guilty. But he's denied it. Parker's denied it. I did not, there's part of his statement here. Hope you can see that. I did not take any prohibited substance. I do not use performance-enhancing drugs and do not support their use. I'm cooperating fully with the process now underway, and I'm confident the investigation will clear my name. Thank you to everyone who has sent messages of support. It means a great deal to me and my family. When the investigation is complete, I will speak openly and answer questions. So yeah, that's your boy Joseph Parker, man, the big Uso, man. That's your boy, the big Uso, yeah. Joseph Parker's denied it. He's denied taking any drugs, yeah. But the thing is, yeah, I wanna move on to Anthony Joshua and I'm gonna move on to recap the Eubank versus Conor Ben fight, and then we're gonna end with Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul, which was confirmed today by Jake Paul himself, yeah. But what I want to say quickly, my people, yeah? If you're in the building, by the way, smash the likes. Any questions you got, drop down in the comments, my people. Drop down any questions that you got. what I'm gonna do from next week, I'm gonna start bringing someone who's up on the panel as well. We can have a chat. Do you know what I mean? We can have a chat. You can phone in, call in, or whatever. Innit? I'll send you the link. You can jump on the chat on the live as well. So you can have a chat with Enzo, the realist in the game. Joseph Parker. Just to end this whole Joseph Parker thing, how the hell does he prove? How do you explain the substance getting into your system? That's the thing. Like, how do you explain? Because the substance has been found on your system, right? It was in your blood. How did it get into your system without you knowing about it? Do you know what I mean? Because I've heard of fighters proving their innocence. For example, let's just go back. Conor Benn a couple of years ago, he was found to have he had something in him. But then he blamed it on eggs, right? Conor Benn said, I ate too many eggs. He ate too many eggs. That's why he had whatever he had in his system. And then you've had also someone like a Canelo Alvarez. I remember he got caught with some steroids or something in his system, right? Let me know in the comments. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he got caught with something. And then Canelo blamed it on contaminated meat. They had some type of valid reason or explanation of how the substance or the drug, whatever, got into their system, into their bloodstream. Now, how does Joseph Parker explain the white powder getting into his system? How does he explain that? Like, do you know what I mean? Because, I don't know, can an animal sniff that shit and eat it or whatever? Do you know what I mean? Can you get contaminated from an animal? I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments. I'm not really an expert on the white powder stuff, but can you get contaminated by it? But from an animal, I think someone in my comments, when I dropped that video about Joseph Parker failing his drug test, someone in my comments, obviously I've got a lot of Joseph Parker fans on the channel, and a lot of them were commenting. I think someone said to me that, apparently Joseph Parker went on to a show, whatever, and, the water was already on the table for him. And when he sat down, he drank the water. And that could be a way, that could be somehow, that could explain how the substance got into his system. But I'm thinking like, right, if that's how he got into his system through that water, then maybe he can go back and look at it and watch it and, I don't know, present the evidence that he was set up in it. Because a lot of the Joseph Parker fans now are saying that Joseph Parker was set up. This is all a set up. They don't want someone from Samoa, someone from New Zealand, fighting for a title, becoming world champion. That's why a lot of the Joseph Parker fans are saying. But let me know, what do you guys in the comments think, though? You think Joseph Parker is being set up? Do you know what I mean? There's all sorts of conspiracy theories out there right now, man. What do you guys think? Do you think the Big Uso has been set up? Because the way things have developed in the last couple of weeks, they've gone really quick, innit? Parker failed drug test, bam. Couple of days later, Usyk relinquishes the title. Fabio Wardley, champion. Like, the turn of events have happened so quick. It's crazy, yeah? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. Is Parker really being set up? Is Parker really being set up? Let me know in the comments, my people. But let's move on anyway, man. I'm probably going to drop a video on Parker probably tomorrow or something like that. And I'm also going to drop a video as well on the Fabio Wardley being elevated to full champion. I'm going to drop all of that as well. But let me read some of your comments. Let me see. Adari Pennant. Fabio Wardley versus Filip Hrgović. All right, that's a shout, That's a good shout. Fabio Wardley versus Filip Hrgović. That's a good shout. That's actually a good shout, And let me check the WBO rankings. Let me see where Hrgović is ranked with the WBO. Let me just check where Filip Hrgović. Let me check the WBO rankings. Let me see who's next in line, the WBO rankings. WBO heavyweight rankings. Let me flip my screen. So the WBO heavyweight rankings. Oh, this is interesting, my people. This is interesting. If you was watching the stream from the start, I did mention Moses Tuma's name. If you look at the WBO rankings, here we go. Hope you can see. Yeah. So the WBO rankings, you go Fabio Wardley, he's now the champion, right? Ranked number 1 with the WBO is Moses Ituma. Moses Ituma is ranked number 1 with the WBO. So does that mean Moses Ituma, obviously Moses Ituma is fighting, who's he fighting again? Moses Ituma is fighting who? Jermaine Franklin, yeah. Moses Ituma is fighting Jermaine Franklin next. That's who he's fighting next. So does that mean that if Moses Ituma gets through Jermaine Franklin, he fights Fabio Wardley because he's the number 1 ranked? Damn it. And this is one thing that I spoke about this a couple videos ago. And I did say that Fabio Wardley and Moses Ituma and Ben Davison, they're going to have to make a decision. They're going to have some real decisions to make because they're on a collusion course. Ituma and Wardley are on a collusion course. Wardley is now the champion of the WBO. Moses Ituma is the number 1 ranked. So will Moses Ituma sacrifice himself? Would he say, you know what? Fabio Wardley is my friend. Because Fabio Wardley is my friend, I'm not going to fight him? Nah, for me, that's some sucker shit, man. Do you know why I say that? In a good way, by the way. I don't mean in a bad way, yeah, some sucker shit, because, bruv, it's not like Moses Ituma and Fabio Wardley were best friends when they were kids, man. You just met in the gym, bro. Do you know what I mean? You just met in the gym, bro. And Moses Ituma, he's got title ambitions. You know what I mean? He's hungry, he's young, hungry, he wants to become champion, like, so, like, I don't know, man, unless you're my childhood friend, like, do you know what I mean, where we're tight, close, or your blood family, nah, maybe, if we go to the same gym, there's a belt on the line, we're fighting, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I want to become champion, we're both going to get paid handsomely. After that, we dap it up, you know what I mean? We go have a burger together, a drink together, whatever, and he's done, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, why should Moses Ituma hold his career up because Fabio Wardley is champion? But yeah, to answer Adari's Pennant's question as well, Filip Hrgovic is a good shout as well, because if you look, the number 2 ranked is Filip Hrgovic. I can't believe Zhilei Zhang is number 3, but Zhilei Zhang is still there. But yeah, Filip Hrgovic is ranked number 2. That would make sense. So if Frank Warren doesn't want to make things messy in-house, because all these guys are Queensbury, right? If Frank Warren doesn't want to kind of mess up the team dynamics or whatever, and Ben Davison doesn't want to lose either fighter, he doesn't want to lose Itoma, and he doesn't want to lose Wardley, they could just say to Itoma, you know what, listen, chill, we'll give you a little 2 million here for you to chill. And then they could skip and go to the number 2, Filip Hrgovic. That'll be a good fight. Filip Hrgovic is good. Good fundamentals, good boxer, good technique. He does eat a lot of right hands, man. Every time Filip Hrgovic is fighting, he's always busted up, man. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who he's fighting. He always gets cut. He's got a lot of scar tissue that just opens up very quickly and very easily. But that'll be an interesting fight. But I'll back Fabio Wardley, you know. I'll back Fabio Wardley. Obviously, Filip Hrgović is the better boxer all round. But then again, most of the fighters that Fabio Wardley has fought, they've all been better boxers than him. They've all been technically better. But he's always found a way to get through them and finish them. So I'll be backing Fabio Wardley if he was to take on Filip Hrgović as his first title defense. But that could happen. That's a great shout, man. Adari Pennon, thank you, man. That's actually that's actually a great shout from Adari Pennon. That's a great shout, bro. That is a great shout because Filip Hrgović is ranked number 2 with the WBO, and that fight can definitely happen. That fight most definitely can happen next for Fabio Wardley. But I'm sure there's other opponents there, man. Even Daniel Dubois, man. Daniel Dubois, how he's looking at it is he's one fight away from a title shot. That's how Daniel Dubois is looking at it. Because Daniel Dubois, if I just flip my screen again, Daniel Dubois is ranked number 5 with the WBO. So Dubois is ranked number 5 for the WBO. There's a lot of contenders there, man. There's a lot of possibilities there. We're just looking at these heavyweight lists, the WBO rankings. Lot of fights that could be made there, man. Gilles Jean could be made, Hrgović, Itoma, maybe not Itoma. Lawrence Okoli. Okoli's probably thinking, you know what, there's a little opening here. I'll win one more fight and I'm in there. Do you know what I mean? A lot of this division now is wide open, man. Now that Usyk has relinquished, he's dropped out, mate, this division is wide open. I think any of these guys can beat each other, you know. Any of these guys, even Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson, you know, if he can pick himself back up, gather up again, build some momentum, get some confidence back, he could be dangerous, Jared Anderson. You know, so there's some good fights there. There's some good fights. But anyways, let's move on, man. Let's move on, man. Let's go back to the Ring magazine. Let's move on. So let's talk about Conor Benn versus Eubank Jr. What the hell happened at the weekend, man? What the hell was that from Eubank Jr., man? What was he playing at? What was he playing at, man? Let me know in the comments, my people. What did you think of that performance from Eubank Jr.? When I was watching that fight, I couldn't believe it. Like, from round 1, you can just tell something wasn't right, man. Something wasn't right. Now, in my post-fight reaction, I talked about the fact that the first fight between Conor and Eubank Jr., Chris Eubank Jr. took a lot of damage, man. He won the fight, but he took a lot of punishment. And at his age, 36, with a rehydration clause and everything like that, cutting all that weight, you know, it does take a toll on you, man. You know, it does take a toll on you. And it looked like it took a toll on Chris Eubank Jr., man, because he just looked dead in there, man. He looked drained. The guy just looked sick, man. He looked like he had nothing in a tank. It looked like Eubank Jr. looked like he spent all his energy in training and cutting weight. By the time he got to the ring for the fight, he had nothing left. Chris Eubank Jr. just had nothing left. He didn't show anything. You know? He didn't show anything now. I'm just going to flip my screen again, just show you. This is a story here on the Ring magazine. Let's just read it here. What's he saying here? So apparently Chris Eubank Jr. admitted from round 1 in that fight that he's not going to beat Conor Benn. That's crazy. Let's read it. Chris Eubank Jr. admits he knew in first round he wouldn't beat Conor Benn. So like I just said, man, when I first started talking about this, from round 1, if you're like a true boxing fan, if you're really into your boxing, you know, when a fighter's on it or not. Do you know what I mean? You can tell by their demeanor, their body language in the ring, how they're moving, how they're throwing the punches. You can tell if someone's on it and if someone's not really on it. Do you know what I mean? And Chris Eubank Jr. was just not on it. He was just not interesting. It looked like he just turned up, he showed up because he was getting paid. And he went in there just to survive 12 rounds. Because that's all he did. He didn't throw nothing of significance to really hurt Conor Ben, man. He just wasn't on it. Now, let me read what Chris Eubank Jr. said here. Hold on. Let me just move my screen. So, Chris Eubank Jr. went on to say, what did he say here? What's this article say? I've been through hell and back to make it here today. He said in his post-fight conference. He then went on to say, I genuinely thought that regardless of the issues that I've been dealing with, I would be able to go in there and win, use my boxing skills, use what you guys saw in that first fight to beat Conor Ben. From that first round, I realized that I was mistaken, but it's okay. I'm a fighter. This is what I do. I tried my best. Conor Ben put on a hell of a fight. He had a great performance. He did everything that was asked of him, and I congratulate him for his performance. Oh, that's good. That's good sportsmanship there from Chris Eubank Jr. Eubank was asked what he meant about going through hell and back, but he refused to be drawn on the questioning, electing to heap more praise on Ben, who will now look to move back down to welterweight division. Now, that's something that Eubank Jr. kept saying a lot, innit? He kept saying, like, even after the in-ring interview, when he was in the ring, he said, oh, I've been through hell and back. Post-fight interview, I've been through hell and back. Now, we know that he announced that he's having twins. Yeah, congratulations to the brother. He announced to the world he's having twins, yeah. But he keeps saying that he's been through hell and back. What hell and back, man? Is he just talking about in terms of just the preparation of the fight? Do you know what I mean? Like, what, the weight cut was, like, bro, like, you need to let us know a little bit more. Like, you keep saying that you've been through hell and back, and as a boxing fan, like, just let us know, like, because so that we can understand why you performed so terrible. Because that was a terrible performance, man. That was in a Chris Eubank Jr.-esque performance. Like, normally, Chris Eubank Jr., if he's been outboxed in a fight, let's say, for example, the other fight is just more skilled, more talented than him, he will at least, by the bare minimum, yeah, he'll push the pace, he'll be aggressive, even if he's swinging and missing. But he's going to throw the kitchen sink, yeah, at the opponent. But against Conor Ben, like, he fought at the same intensity, same pace from round 1 all the way to round 12, and then nearly got knocked out. I was watching that fight and I was thinking, okay, when is Chris Eubank Jr. eventually going to wake up? When is he eventually going to turn up? He never turned up, man. Chris Eubank Jr. never turned up, man. He got to the middle rounds, the 6th round. Everyone at home was watching saying, yo, come on, let's go now. Come on, you need a knockout now. Let's go. Nope. Nothing at all, man. And listen, we can say, you know, Chris Eubank Jr. was bad as much as we like, but we have to also congratulate Conor Ben. I'm not the biggest Conor Ben fan. Like, I don't like the way he conducted himself in the past, especially when he failed the drug test, the whole egg situation. I'm not the biggest fan of his. Like, he's not my cup of tea, but I have to congratulate him for executing the game plan to perfection. He went in there, he boxed well, he showed maturity, he showed that he's a fighter that's able to take defeat, go back, do his homework, come back and improve and make adjustments. Do you know what I mean? And take his game to the next level. And that's exactly what Conor Ben did, man. Do you know what I mean? He showed me that he's capable of making adjustments. He's capable of taking instructions and listening. Do you know what I mean? And following a game plan. Because me, I'm an amateur boxing coach here, and I can tell you one of the most challenging things about a coach here that is a fighter's listening, man. Some fighters just don't listen. Like, you can work with them on the pads, you can do a footwork, head movement, everything. You can really practice in training. But they get to the fight and they just don't bloody listen. They do what they want. You could be shouting to them, yo, throw the jab. Yeah, slip that right hand. Do you know what I mean? Do this, move to the left, move to the right. Do you know what I mean? Keep moving your head. You can be screaming at them. They just don't listen in the fight. They just lose all focus and concentration. They don't listen. They go in there and they do exactly what they want. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. So when you have a fighter that can listen, as a coach, I'm talking as a coach here. If you have a fighter that listens and takes instructions, yeah, and then they go out there in the ring, yeah, and they execute the game plan, it doesn't mean they're going to win. They could go out there and execute the game plan to perfection, but the other guy's just better, more talented, and they get to them and they win the fight, yeah. But as a coach, yeah, you feel satisfied the fact that your fighter listened to the instructions that you gave them and they went in there and they executed it. Win or lose or draw, you will be happy. As you know, you said to yourself, you know what, we went in there, did our best, we lost against the better men, but you know what, fair enough. You went in there, you followed my instructions, yeah? You did everything we practiced in training, you went in there, done it. And that's what I'm going to say about Conor Ben. He went in there, he done exactly what the coach, Tony Sims, the game plan, he went in there, he executed it. And that's all you can ask of him. And he put up a hell of a performance. Now, we want to see Conor Ben drop down to 147 or 154, whatever. He's a big dude now, isn't he? Like, man, he might struggle to make 147. For me, if I'm Conor Ben, I'm trying to make 154, man. I think he should fight 154, but he might not. He might just go back down and challenge the likes of Mario Barrios, who's a very weak champion in 147. He can beat him. We already saw Mario Barrios struggled against Manny Pacquiao. If Mario Barrios is struggling against Manny Pacquiao, trust me, man, Conor Ben will light him up. And I think there's an easy belt at 147 pounds for Conor Ben to go out, win, and become champion. Realize his dream. So I think that should be the next move for him. He's had the money fights. This whole family feud and, whatever's been going on between the Eubanks and the Bens, he ends here. Do you know what I mean? I've been seeing some sections of the media, certain commentators, certain pundits talking about, oh, he's going to, they want to see a rematch. I mean, I'm sorry, a trilogy. You're nuts. There's not going to be no trilogy. There will be no interest from the public. Like, what we saw from Chris Eubank Jr. there, that was enough, innit? We don't want to see. We don't want to see no more, And I feel like the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I don't think it was full to capacity, man. I saw some empty seats there, man. And it'll be very interesting, and I said this in my post-fight reaction, it will be very interesting to see what the pay-per-view numbers were for Conor Ben and Chris Eubank Jr. I don't think they've done the numbers that they did in the first fight. I think in the first fight, they done like 2 million or something. I think it's 1.5 million, 1.8 million or something they've done in pay-per-views. I don't think they've done anywhere near that. I think they've probably done half. I think they've done maybe 500K, man. I think they've done 500K, man. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Conor Ben, Chris Eubank Jr., just move on. We do not want to see no trilogy. No trilogy whatsoever from these guys, man. Yeah, let me know. If you want to see a trilogy, let me know. I don't. But if you want to see it, let me know in the comments, man. But for me, it's absolutely, for me, it's pointless. For me, it's pointless, man. But let me know what you thought about that performance from Chris Eubank Jr. In fact, I will say, I want to see Chris Eubank Jr. retire. I want to see him retire. I've seen some people saying that they want to see Chris Eubank Jr. move back up to 168 or whatever. Nah. Bruv, listen, if Conor Ben is doing that to him, man, I don't care, man. Rehydration clause or no rehydration clause. Whether there's a rehydration clause or not, that performance from Chris Eubank Jr. in terms of just the physicality that he lacked and just the skills, it just looked like I feel like Father Time has caught up to him. I feel like Father Time has caught up to Chris Eubank Jr. I don't think he's got it anymore, man. I don't think he's got it anymore, man. Do you know what I mean? The Bright Show podcast. My boy Bright. What's good, Bright? Yo, big up Enzo. Shout out my boy Bright, man. Go check out his YouTube channel. He's another good one as well, man. The Bright Show podcast. No need for Eubank Jr. versus Ben. It's over. It's 2-1 to the Eubanks. Yeah, it's true, man. Yo, Bright, if you're around, come over. Come to the live, man. If you're around, come through. I wanna hear your take on the breaking news that Fabio Wardley's been elevated to full champion of the WBO. If you're around, Bright, come through, man. Come give your opinion as well. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, for me, Chris Eubank Jr. should just retire, you know? Should just retire. Let me just flip my screen again. Like he's come out saying that he wasn't feeling it. He said that from the first round, he wasn't feeling it. This is it here, 1 second. Let me just highlight this here. Yeah, Chris Eubank Jr. says, I genuinely thought that regardless of the issues that I've been dealing with, I would be able to go in there and win, use my boxing skills, use what you guys saw in that first fight to beat Conor Ben. From that first round, I realized that I was mistaken, but it's okay. I'm a fighter. This is what I do. So from the very first round, Chris Eubank Jr. realized that he wasn't gonna beat Conor Ben. And that's exactly what I said, and that's exactly what a lot of people have said. From the very first round, as soon as we saw him, Chris Eubank Jr., his demeanor, his whole body language, he wasn't on it, man. He wasn't gonna be up for it. He just wasn't on it. And we can all tell, whether it was the rehydration clause, whether it was the intense training to drop all that weight. Listen, we can make up all kinds of excuses for him, but at the end of the day, he just wasn't good enough, man. He just wasn't good enough. But anyways, listen, that was the recap of the Conor Ben versus Eubank Jr. fight at the weekend. I must say, we expected a better fight, innit? We expected a much more competitive fight. We expected a very competitive fight, competitive rematch, but yeah, it was total domination from Conor Ben. And congratulations to Conor Ben, man. May he just move on now. Move on to better, bigger things, man. Go fight people your own size with no rehydration clause or none of that, man. Let's see what you're really made up of. All right, let's move on, man. Today, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul confirmed their fight. It's going to take place December 19th. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. They're going to get it on December 19th. And you know what? It's a real fight. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is actually a real fight. Let me read some comments here. So, Godzilla, 2005. What are you saying, bro? Shout out to you, Godzilla, man. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying? Anthony Joshua smokes Jake Paul in 1 round. And I watched Ali versus Foreman and Ali versus Frazier. And Norton Trilogy. Those fights were wars. Yeah, man. Listen, you're talking about a completely different era, man. Ali, Frazier, all them guys there, man. Different era, man. Legends, man.
legends of this sport, man. Do you know what I mean? Ali, considered the greatest fighter of all time. Do you know what I mean? The greatest boxer of all time. But Anthony Joshua, yeah, man. Listen, your comment, Godzilla, actually takes us to our next segment. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Listen, I remember, I think it was maybe last week, last Sunday. Yeah, so not this Sunday gone, not the Sunday where Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Ben fought, but the Sunday before that, I read an article on Boxing News, on Boxing News 24. Yeah, and they quoted, there was a quote in there from Eddie Hearn. There's a quote in there from Eddie Hearn that said he was in negotiations with Jake Paul's team for them to get the fight on with Anthony Joshua. They were in negotiations to get that fight on. Yeah, and I took that quote, yeah, and I made a video about it, yeah, because listen, my job, you know, is, well, YouTube, you know what, do I call YouTube a job? I don't do YouTube full time, yeah. Yeah, so my job, whatever you call it, as a YouTuber, content creator who covers boxing, yeah, I report the news, right? So I just report the news, man. Do you know what I mean? I might find a quote from somewhere or see a title somewhere and read about it and I'll report it. Do you know what I mean? And I reported that quote that I read from Eddie Hearn, where he said he's in negotiations. His team is in negotiations with Jake Paul for Anthony Joshua fight in December. I made a video about it. I came out the window. I jumped out. You know what I mean? Like, it's risky. You know what I mean? These content creating space that we're in, YouTube, whatever, you know, and it doesn't matter what you're covering, whether it be boxing, whether it be MMA, whether it be whatever it is that you're doing, yeah. Like, when you put your face out there, yeah, you know, people are gonna be onto you. You know, people are just gonna be onto you. Yeah? It is what it is. Yeah, I've learned my lesson, innit? I've learned my lessons, but at the end of the day, I'm just gonna carry on being me, innit? Do you know what I mean? If I get something wrong, then, you know, I'll apologize for it, my bad, and I'll eat humble pie and move on. So I decided to make the video. Yeah, I made a video and I said, Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul signed for December. Right? That was the title. That was the title of the video. I'm going to flip my screen and show you guys anyway, yeah? That was the title. But when I dropped that video, oh my God, the heat that I received, crazy. Like, a lot of people were calling me clickbait. You know, they were saying clickbait, these fights will never happen, blah, 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 blah. I'm just looking for views. I was like, hold on, mate. I'm reporting the news. I'm just reporting a quote from Eddie Hearn. And I got the heat for it, yeah? And then guess what? Guess what? Literally like 4 days later, the news broke out. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know if it was a leak. All the major networks were reporting on it. ESPN, Sky Sports, Talk Sport, Fox News, all of them. They were reporting breaking news, Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua in final stages of finalizing a deal to fight each other. When I saw that, I just had a smile on my face because I was like, yo, I told you so. I told you so. I told everyone 5 days before that this fight was happening, right? Because I read a quote. And in fact, I put question marks because I wasn't even sure myself. I just said, yo, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua happening in December, question marks. That's what I said, right? That's what I said. And then 4 days later, I took some hit for it. People calling me clickbait. 4 days later, lo and behold, they made the announcement. They made the announcement. Yo, Jake Paul is fighting Anthony Joshua. Do you know what I mean? One thing I realized, yeah, when you're like a small content creator, when your channel is still small, yeah, when you're at the stage where you're building your channel, yeah, people like will come for you. Do you know what I mean? People will come for you. People will they think like you're an easy target. Do you know what I mean? They feel like they think because your channel is small, they think that you don't actually do no investigations. Do you know what I mean? They think that you don't actually do no research behind what you talk about. Like, I do research. Do you know what I mean? I do a lot of research. There's a lot of thought and insights and investigations that go on before I drop a video. Every video I drop, I fact check it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll check all the details. Like, obviously, when I'm not perfect, I'm a human being. Sometimes I might get something wrong. Like, it's normal. We're all humans, yeah. Mate, even the experts, even the so-called experts, they get things wrong, So who am I? Yeah. People feel like they can come at us because we're small channels. But me, I'm the type of person, I'm not gonna have none of that shit, man. Like, if you come at me in the comments, yeah, I think I'll definitely be coming back for you. Do you know what I mean? And I'll ask you, show me the receipts, like. Do you know what I mean? If you ask me for receipts, I'll bring you the receipts. If I ask you, if I come at you and you ain't got the receipts, apologize and move on, because I would apologize and move on because I hold myself accountable, So I dropped that video, or I'm trying to look for it on my channel. I'm trying to show you guys and girls the proof of how people just come for you, About, oh yeah, clickbait, this, that, clickbait, that. Let's grab. By the way, my people, if you're in the building, smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe. Yeah, let me find that video I dropped. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Okay, I think there it is. Bear with me, my people. I'm just trying to pull this video up. Let me get that. By the way, let me know in the comments what you think of Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul, man. What's your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on it? There's already a lot of conspiracy theories going on online. I see people writing that, yo, if the fight goes the distance, then it's rigged. If Jake Paul wins, then it's rigged. Listen, this is real boxing. Jake Paul is a brave guy, because they actually fight. This is actually real boxing rules, like. Do you know what I mean? It's not an exhibition. Like, Jake Paul could get knocked the F out here, man. Yeah, I found the video. Let me just flip my screen, man. Let me just show you guys. Yeah, so this is the video, right? This is the video that I dropped, as you can see, yeah? 9 days ago, I dropped that video, yeah? Let me just zoom in there. I dropped the video 9 days ago. 9 days ago, I dropped the video. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Signed for December, right? 9 days ago. And everyone, I got a lot of heat from that, look. Some little goofy guys. Clickbait, people saying, yo, it's clickbait. People saying, bro, Jake Paul never stepped to AJ. Come on, man. Brother, you are talking shit. Clickbait content won't grow your channel, bro. Just look at your views. Mate, do you know what I mean? Like, people just coming at me crazy, like, do you know what I mean? Because I'm just reporting the news, but the same people now won't even apologize, You know what I mean? Those same people that were giving me like a hard time, that was saying that, yo, Enzo's doing clickbait, that Enzo's just making up content to grow the channel, the same people won't even come back and say, yo, Enzo, man, my bad, man. Sorry for calling you a clickbait guy. Do you know what I mean? They won't do that. They will not do that one bit. They won't even apologize, But if I make a mistake, if I was to drop a video and say something that wasn't factual, everyone, I have to come and apologize. But these faceless accounts, I call them goofy guys, yeah? They will never do that. Bunch of cowards, mate. Do you know what I mean? And me, I don't even hold my tongue like that because I just don't really give a ish, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But a lot of people tell me, yo, Enzo, don't react to them. Don't react to them. Don't react to the haters, man. Just keep doing your thing. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. And you're right as well. I shouldn't react. But hey, listen, I'm a human being, man. You know what I mean? Like, we have our moments. We all have our moments. But I've learned my lesson. That's what I'm saying. Me, I just drop the content that I want to drop, man. Do you know what I mean? I just talk about what the hell I want to talk about, man. But yeah, guys, anyways, Lord behold, I was one of the first. If I wasn't the first person to break the news on Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fighting each other, I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments who was the first person to break that news, especially here in the UK. I feel like it was me in the UK, man. Maybe a couple outlets in America might be just sniffing around and maybe dropped a few clips here and there, but in the UK, I was definitely the first, man. I'll put my neck out there, man. I was definitely the first to talk about an AJ versus Jake Paul fight in December. But yeah, it's happening. It's happening. You know, Jake Paul has announced it. I think he's gonna feature with it on his Twitter. I'm just trying to bring up the page. Hold on, let me flip my screen again for you guys. Yeah, so there is, yeah. What they calling it? They're calling it Judgment Day. Oh, God. So Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul, the Judgment Day, yeah? So what, Judgment Day for Jake Paul, or who's the Judgment Day for who? For Jake Paul or Anthony Joshua? Because Jake Paul's got, like, who's actually giving Jake Paul a chance? Please let me know. Who's actually giving Jake Paul a chance? Because I'm not. There's no way, like, Jake Paul has no chance, mate. Do you know what I mean? He's got no chance of actually of defeating Anthony Joshua. And I know Anthony Joshua in recent years, you know what I mean, his performances haven't been great. He got obliterated against Daniel Dubois, innit? But you're talking about Daniel Dubois is a proper boxer, who's a real boxer, real fighter. He knows how to throw the punches, man. Jake Paul, bruv, you went life and death with Mike Tyson. You went life and death with a 60-year-old who had 2 bad knees, and you couldn't even knock him out. You think you're gonna knock out Anthony Joshua, bro? You're mad. I think Jake Paul's been watching too. I don't know, man. He's been listening to the wrong people around him. They're probably telling him, yo, listen, Anthony Joshua's got a glass chin, you know, glass jaw, whatever. He's got a weak chin and it's chinny. If you can just clip him, do you know what I mean? If you can clip Anthony Joshua, you can finish him, you know? Bruv, you're not... Anthony Joshua's what, 35? This is still a young Anthony Joshua, active, 2 times world champion, bruv. People forget what Anthony Joshua did to Ngannou, you know? Remember Ngannou? And Ngannou MMA fighter coming up? Remember what happened to Ngannou? And Ngannou is much bigger than Jake Paul and stronger than Jake Paul. And look how AJ dispatched him. So can you imagine what AJ is going to do to Jake Paul? Listen, it's a win-win for everybody, man. It's a win-win for everybody. There's no losers, man. I know some fans think that they might lose out. Some fans are not happy with this, innit? Some fans are saying, yo, Anthony Joshua shouldn't be fighting Jake Paul. It's a joke. Do you know what I mean? He's making a mockery out of boxing. But I'll say this, yeah, a lot of boxing fans, yeah, were also saying that Anthony Joshua is done. Anthony Joshua is finished. Anthony Joshua, you know, he will never get back to the top. Anthony Joshua's got a weak chin. Anthony Joshua should just retire and walk away. Like, what is it, man? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Is Anthony Joshua done at the top? Should he walk away, or what is it? If you're saying Anthony Joshua is done at the top, yeah, why do you care if he's fighting Jake Paul then? You shouldn't really care. You shouldn't really care. If he's done anyway, you shouldn't really care, all right? That's my thinking behind it. Listen, I don't like Jake Paul, man. The reason why I kind of like this fight, if he's a real fight with proper rules, I wanna see Jake Paul get knocked out, man. Do you know what I mean? I want to see him get beat down, get knocked down, and then I want to see him retire from boxing. But we know he's not gonna do that, innit? We know he's not gonna do that, man. I'll go back. I'll read that report from the Ring magazine and say, let me just read a comment here. Sam Rie 8274. What up, bro? I see you a lot in these lives, man. I appreciate your intakes, man. What up, Enzo? Nobody gave Paul a chance against Mike Tyson. Oh, come on, bro. Stop it, man. Stop it, man. Stop it, man. Nobody gave Jake Paul a chance against Mike Tyson. Come on, that Mike Tyson fight was a gimmick, man. Do you know what I mean? I therefore believe that fight was scripted. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was scripted, man. I don't care what you tell me, man. I don't care, man. Listen, Mike Tyson wasn't even trying to hit Jake Paul, man. Go back and watch the tape. Go back and watch the replay, but slow it down. Slow down the replay, man. There was times where Mike Tyson will swing, he will get close to connected to Jake Paul, and he will just leave it short, you know? He won't connect. Do you know what I mean? What's that about? What's that about? There was time where Mike Tyson went in the corner, like he was crying. Like Mike Tyson was crying in his corner. Mike Tyson was in the middle of the ring and he was biting his gloves, bro. What was that about? Why are you biting your glove for? Do you know what I mean? Why are you biting your glove for? That didn't make no sense at all, man. It did not make no sense at all, man. So yeah, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, please, man. We can't even look at that fight, man, and even count that. That was a joke. That was a gimmick. I think part of the contract is not to knock out Jake Paul. I think this is what all his previous fights have had in contract. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That mean, listen, we need to start seeing some of these Jake Paul contracts, man. Because it's not making no sense, innit? We need to see some of these Jake Paul contracts because what you just said there is in the now we don't have no evidence of this, you know. We don't know if he's not allowed to knock him out or not, you know. If he's allowed to knock him out or not. We don't know that. But if that's in a contract where Anthony Joshua is not allowed to knock him out, that's some bullshit, man. That's some BS, man. Because I want to see Jake Paul get knocked the F out. I want to see him get knocked out. Do you know what I mean? So please do not have that on the contract. They're telling us this is a real fight. This is a real fight. Now, both guys are making hella money. Like, I think they're both taking like 75 million pounds each. 75 million pounds each. If any boxer tells me they're never going to fight Jake Paul, yeah, because it's a gimmick, and there's 75 million pounds on the line, they don't do it, mate, you are crazy, mate. Man, I'll beat up Jake Paul for 20 grand, man. Not that Jake Paul ever fight me, but trust me, I'll beat up Jake Paul, man. Like, trust me, man. Listen, I'll love to fight Jake Paul in MMA, though. Because I know I'll grapple him. I'll grapple him. And I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7", and I'll grapple him. I think I'll beat him up, man. Man, even Jake Paul in boxing, I'll take on Jake Paul. You know what? Yeah, in future, I actually want to fight some of these guys out there. Do you know what I mean? Any of these YouTubers, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm putting it out there right now, bro. Any YouTuber that wants that smoke, they can get that smoke. Do you know what I mean? Any of them that want that smoke, they can get that smoke. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind. Let me know in the comments. Who do you think I should fight? By the way, I'll fight at 70 kg. I'll probably fight at welterweight. I'll be fighting at welterweight. 147. Actually, now 154, man. Can I even make 154? Nah, 160. I'll fight 160, man. Let's do 160. I will smoke these YouTubers at 160, man. Bring them on. Line them up one by one. I'll render them unconscious. Like Carl Froch says, I'll render them unconscious, mate. But yeah, this fight, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Let me just read that report. Let me flip my screen again. Let me read that report. So, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul confirmed for Miami Kaseya Center December 19th. So that's been set up. As first reported by the Ring's Mike Copier, Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul have now. Yo, what do you mean as first reported? You see what I hear about these big outlets, man? The Ring magazine were not the first to report this, bruv. I was the first person to report this, man. Why are you doing me dirty like that? See what I mean? About these big corporate channels and outlets, yeah? Because they're so big, they take what us smaller YouTubers are doing and they take it as their work, bro. You was not the first to report it. I was the first to report it. Do you know what I mean? And I reported without no inside knowledge. Do you know what I mean? With nobody on the inside, just using my investigative skills. Do you know what I mean? I spend hours a day reading articles. You know, people don't see the work that we put in. Like, I spend hours reading newspapers, like boxing news everywhere. I read American boxing news. I read Australian boxing news. I'm reading boxing news in Africa, in Europe. Man, I'm just reading news everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to pick up interesting stories that I can talk about. But a lot of the time, yeah, like in boxing in this space, boxing in the UK is very niche, innit? So most of the time, we're all talking about the same thing. You know what I mean? Most of the time, we're all covering the same stories. Now, it just becomes about popularity. You know, it just becomes about personality, who you resonate more with. You know, who do you like more? Like, who speaks your language better? You know, who you can relate to better? Do you like the person's delivery? That's what it comes up to. Do you know what I mean? But we all pretty much reporting the same shit every day anyway, you know? It's just about the delivery and who's more entertaining. I would like to think that my delivery is good and I'm very entertaining. Let me know in the comments if I'm entertaining or not. People say sometimes I'm a little bit too real, too authentic, too straight, you know? I think that's a good thing, man. We live in a world now where people are just scared to voice their true opinions, you know? People just, they don't uphold their values, you know. They want to be fake to make different type of connection or to be liked. But people that will never really like them, you know. Me, I'm one of them people that, like, I go by people's energy. If I see that your energy is wrong, I'm out of there, you know. Like, a lot of the time, people go with people's words. They listen to what people are telling them rather than watching the people's actions. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, someone will tell you who they are by their actions, innit? I look at the actions, man. If your actions don't reflect your words, I'm out. I'm not buying that shit. Yeah, as you can see, man, the Ring magazine reported this fight. It's been confirmed. They're gonna make 75 million quid each. Big money. Joshua, 28, lost 4, 25 knockout. Has in boxing since his 5th round stoppage defeat by Daniel Dubois. We saw that in September 2024. Paul was originally slated. Paul was meant to fight, who's that guy? Tank Davis. Tank Davis going to some domestics, so he's not going to fight him, you know? He's not fighting him. So it's Joshua now. That's been confirmed. But honestly, man, is anybody giving Jay Paul a chance? I'm not, man. Absolutely not, man. You know what I mean? I can already see fans saying if Joshua loses, it's rigged. It might be rigged, it might not, but all I know, both guys are big winners because they're both going to make 75 million pounds each. I don't know how much that is in dollars, probably like $95 million, whatever, $85 million, however much it is. But yeah, they're going to make more money than me and you can ever dream of, mate. You know? Okay, so let me read some of the rules here because obviously it's going to be a real fight. So per MVP's press release, MVP, that's most valuable player. I think, yeah, that's Jake Paul's promotions team. Is it most valuable player or most valuable promotions? I think it's most valuable promotions. Press release, their fight will be contested with 10-ounce gloves, while information relating to undercard bouts and co-main event details will be settled in the coming weeks. MVP CEO Nakisa Bidarian has since told Sky Sports that Joshua will have a 245-pound weight limit restrictions. Hold on, this is the heavyweight division. There are no weight limit restrictions, but obviously they don't want. Yeah, they're already putting little weight restrictions in there. Okay, that's one of the rules in there. So there's a weight limit restriction for Anthony Joshua, 245-pound placed on him, having tipped the scales heavier than that in each of his last 5 bouts following an unsuccessful 2-fight series with undisputed title holder Alexander Usyk. Paul was quoted saying, "This isn't an AI simulation. This is a judgment day, a professional heavyweight fight against an elite world champion in his prime. When I beat Anthony Joshua, every doubt disappears and no one can deny me the opportunity to fight for a world title. To all my haters, this is what you wanted. To the people of the United Kingdom, I'm sorry. The torch gets passed and Britain's Goliath gets put to sleep." Oh, man, Jake Paul being Jake Paul, man. He's talking. Jake Paul talking all that smack, man. Jake Paul talking all that smack, man. Yeah, we'll see, man. December 19th, I'll be tuning in. Should be interesting. Normally, I don't like to tune into Jake Paul's fights, but I'll be tuning into this one because I want to see him get smacked up. I want to see him get smacked up by Anthony Joshua. Should be interesting. But yeah, that is it for tonight, boys and girls, man. Thank you to everyone who's come through. I really appreciate it. I started a little bit late. I started like half an hour late because I was doing some coaching as well. So that took a little bit of my time. But yeah, we're back again next Monday, same time, 9:30 p.m. UK time. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring on more guests. So next time I'm gonna bring on guests. You know, we talk about boxing, whatever. And also what I'm gonna start doing is I want to start bringing people up. So if you want to come up and have your say, you know what I mean? If you're not camera shy, if you don't mind showing your face, you can come up here, you know, I'll put you on the panel and we have a chat about boxing. Or you can just phone in as well. I'm still getting used to this whole doing lives on YouTube system. I wanna find out how to do it. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna do my research anyway. Like if I wanna do something, if I put my mind to something, I'll get it done. Do you know what I mean? So I'll do my research. Maybe we'll start doing some phoning ins and you guys can have your say. It's good to interact with the subscribers. A lot of people have been with me since the beginning. They contribute all the time. So I'd love to hear from you guys and girls as well. I'd love to get your opinion. So that'll be next week or the week after. I'm going to start getting people up to have a chat. But if you ever have any questions, you can find me EMGM Sports on Instagram and TikTok. You can DM me there as well. So you can ask me any questions there and I'll answer it on the lives, innit? But I'll be back, my people, I'll be back next week, Monday. But anyway, watch out during the week. I'll be dropping videos on Joseph Parker, Fabio Wardy being elevated to champion, you know, Joshua versus Jake Paul. So there's a lot of videos. And also I'll be doing a live watch along on Saturday for the Anthony Yard versus David Benavides. I'm going to be doing a live for that as well. So come along on Saturday from around about maybe 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I'll let you know. I'll drop the link in the community post, so look out for that as well. But thank you so much to everyone who's come through on today's live. I really appreciate it. I'm being a bit more consistent with it now every Monday. Sometimes I'm late, but at least we're getting this momentum building. I'm doing more lives, you know, on Mondays, and I want to do more. You know, there's so much more that I want to do, but it's going to come with time, innit? It's going to come with time. It's all about just being consistent and keep bringing the work. I appreciate it. Sometimes on these lives, we have like 20 people, sometimes 15 people, sometimes 5 people, sometimes 2 people. It doesn't matter. I appreciate everyone that comes through and supports the channel, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, you keep me motivated to keep dropping content. So thank you so much to everyone who supports. If you came through today, please don't forget, man, smash the likes. I really appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. You're really going to help the channel to grow. You're going to support, man. So thank you so much, my people, for coming through. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you back here 9:30 p.m. UK time next Monday. And we're going to recap the Anthony Yard versus David Benavides fight. I'll see you next week, my people. Until then, stay blessed. Peace.